All right, and we're back.
And we're back.
So our final topic to round out the week is the tower. Allan Tollner. Allan, why don't you share your topic with us?
All right, I want to talk about the video game Journey. Maybe now we'll like cut in like a little blurb 5 seconds from now. Don't continue if you don't want spoilers for the game Journey.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get the hell out of here if you're still here. All right, so the game Journey. I don't know if you guys know anything about this. It was a game that was released for PlayStation 3, and it just came out for PS4, digitally remastered, updated visuals and everything. So this game, the whole purpose is you start off and you're in the desert, and you can just see a light shining from a mountain in the distance. And that's the only indication you have. Like, you can see like sand dunes around you, and the whole purpose, you assume, is to make it where this beacon of light is. So that's the only thing you know going into the game, and the game from then forward is about your journey, you know, making your way, trying to find the most efficient route to get there. And along the way, you run into other journeymen, and it turns out that these ones are all match made with you on the fly. There are other users playing the game where you think it's a single-player game, and you have no way to communicate. You don't get to use your voice mic. There's no text chat or anything. The only thing you have is a way to speak with making a little audio chime sound from your character. You can do a long chime or you can do a short chime, whatever you want to do. And that's the only communication. And the game only takes probably 2...
Hold on 1 second, guys.
What is that?
It's my dog.
I was like, is that chainsaw?
I was like, yo, what is
that? Just about to happen right now.
I thought somebody was like breathing through their nose and had like a clogged single nostril or something. I was like,
okay, I thought it was a chainsaw starting. Yeah. I was like, what is that? Like someone's
Ian's wife was about to kill him. She was just like, I'm sick of your shit. These damn video games.
Wow, that was actually kind of creepy. I was like, what is going on?
Fuck, Rocco.
My bad, guys. My bad.
Oh, Rocco's gone too.
1 second.
Yeah,
Rocco probably thought it was him for some reason. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, well, I'll cut. We're gonna keep going, but I cut. Okay. Well, I'll just cut, and that's
yeah.
fine.
Sorry, she when she does that, she's about to throw up, and I just got carpet in this room, so I don't want her throwing up on the carpet.
Podcast is more important, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My bad about that.
That's all good.
That was pretty cool.
Dude, okay. Come on, Rocco.
So how about them Yankees?
Dude.
That's right.
Fucking...
Yep.
There we go. Rocky, you back with us?
I'm live.
Alright.
Alright, cool.
Alright. Ready?
Yep.
Alright, so, Journey. So,
yeah.
I would recommend if you guys play it in one sitting. When I finished the game, I realized I'd been paired up with like quite a few different travelers, but the point is, going through this journey, despite it not having any way of communicating and working with this unknown person who can only chime with me, like I had like the greatest sense of connection with him throughout the entire journey. Like it was like a really magical experience overall. You know, you felt this companionship because the journey itself is very difficult to make it through. Not like the mechanics or a game are hard, but it just feels like very tiring because especially if you play it in the 2 hours or so that it takes to finish the game, then you feel like a really strong connection, especially with such limited communication with this person. And there was a very interesting thing. Once I finished the game, I got a message on my PlayStation from somebody I'd never met. He said, Harold, I will always remember our time together. Check me out, Twitch TV / Young Wave Lord. Okay? So I was just like, just staring at the screen after this like epic journey, and I was just like, what the hell? So curiosity got the better of me, and I checked it out. I went to the YouTube or his Twitch, and sure enough, he was streaming his entire journey, like mission playthrough, and I was there, and he had all his viewers there, and he had given me the name Harold, just like the guy I was playing in the game, and I got to see like all these people, like they're all like, oh yeah, Harold responded, because I sent him a message back. I was like, that was magical. And like I get back to my Twitch TV thing, and like everyone's like, oh my god, he responded. I'm like, hi everybody, I'm Dr. Milkman, and like the chat just goes crazy, like, dude, you have no idea, we've been following you like the entire time. I was just like, what the hell hell is going on? So it was really cool because despite not interacting with this guy, I had felt like a serious connection. And like afterwards, he was like, "Dude, like you're like the best. I had such a strong bond with you." And I played like Rocket League with him for like 2 more hours the rest of the night. And I was thinking, that kind of thing rarely happens, I feel like, in games nowadays, where you feel like a strong sense to like seek out the other person or play with like a very specific person. You know, you play with your friends and everything, but just a random person online. And Rocco, I know you'll like this because this is, of course, going to take it back to EverQuest, none other than that was a game where people really interacted a lot and felt a lot of companionship between one another that you don't have now. You know, you don't have a lot now when you play video games. It's just kind of like, oh, I got to get my shit done. You know, I'm just here for me, finish this off, whatever. So I wanted to ask you guys, what sort of games maybe in the last 5 years have given you a sense of community, or just games that you felt like touched you on another level other than just like a gameplay mechanic? Because that's the last thing I'll mention about Journey is it's the most beautiful video game I've ever played in my entire life. Like you could just play it controlling the camera and it's going to be like the most striking imagery you've ever seen because it has a really cool 2D like style animation. Mechanics and controls are like very impressive for the entire game. So do you guys know of any games like this? Games you might have played in the last 5 years. The only other game I can think of, and Clay, you just said you just finished it, was Two Brothers. Those two games alone, and then maybe Bloodborne actually are like the 3 most impressive games I've played in the last like 5 years, I would say.
Now,
just on the sense of scale.
Elaborate a little real quickly on Two Brothers, because I'm thinking for some reason the one that it was like the 2 military guys fighting together.
No. So this one.
That's 2 of us or something.
That's 2 of us.
Army of Two.
Army of Two. Yeah.
This one is it was originally an Xbox 360 game, and you control 2 brothers who are on a quest to get some sort of medicine, I think, to save their father in a village. Okay. And you control each of them with the independently with the thumbsticks on the controller. So only the older brother you control with the left stick, and only the younger brother you control with the right stick. So it's a really different dynamic than what you're used to playing a game with a controller, because you're used to looking around with your right or left hand, and used to moving with your right hand. So throughout the game,
and alternating between the characters instead of like controlling them all at the same time.
No, you control them. Yeah, you control them both at the same time throughout the whole game. Yeah, exactly. So not only do you learn about the story, which I won't say anything about, you also develop like a whole new skill set, I think, when you're playing the game, because as you start the game, like, you're garbage at controlling the characters. Like, you're falling off the edge, you're like always dying, you don't know how to solve the puzzles. But by the end of the game, you have like a pretty good rhythm going on. You kind of feel like you have like a handle on both of the brothers. So it's a really interesting mechanic, and it's also got a great story, similar in the fact of Journey, that it's a really beautiful game to play. Like, you can just stare at it and it'll look like amazing. And I think you can get it for a computer. The only thing I would say, you have to play it with a controller.
Yeah, okay. I gotcha. Instead of trying to do it with the keyboard.
Yeah, keyboard and mouse. Yeah.
It wouldn't have the same feeling at all.
Yeah.
Because like part of the puzzle is that like some of the one brother, the bigger brother, could do things that the little brother can't do, and the little brother
stronger,
can do things
and then the little brother's smaller. So yeah.
Right, and so you start to map these brothers to your right hand and your left hand, and they are, like Allan was describing, very much like out of sync at first, because you're like, oh, I'm just so awkward. But like as this journey unfolds and you build this relationship between these 2 brothers who are working together, you yourself are getting better at this control, and so you're harmonizing with the game's story as it progresses. And so your skill is a big part of the game, and it's really great. And honestly, you kind of like, Allan, that is my answer. Like, that was like the game that really got me. That like, just wow, what, like, I did not play it all at once. I was playing it like bit by bit. And I don't know the last time I've gotten like that feeling of waking up in the morning and just being so excited and not tired because I had something to look forward to and to explore. And it was this game, because of how different it was and how just like innovative, which is a word that gets thrown out a lot, but it really was different. Like, they were using mechanics that you've seen before, but like in just a different way. And I was excited to explore and like be a part of that world and to see what happens next. And man, it paid off. Like you said, it was such a good story.
Yeah, it's a little longer than Journey. I'd say it was like 3 hours or so total gameplay time, maybe 4 hours.
4 hours, probably. Yeah. in terms of something where a game has like connected you with someone else, though, I have not had that experience, unfortunately, in a while. The one time I did have that was like back when I was in middle school, and I was playing Ghost Recon, and I just going on Xbox Live chat and like talking to a couple of these guys, and it was just really cool to kind of like bond with them, and then like you get paired with, you're like, all right, yeah, well let's hop in a group, and like before I knew it, like we were friends. We would constantly all like go on at the same time and talk, and like I got to know them a little bit more. They got to know me. Like it's pretty cool.
Totally. Like you actually knew who you're going to be playing with, and you're like, you're like your online friends, not just like the guy in your, like your friends list that you're like, okay, this guy will play a game with me. You like know him, and, like know like what is going on with his life, outside of the game even.
And like for me, I guess that game would be Destiny. I never even knew Jay and Izzy until we started playing it. I thought that was probably the one game, because besides that, maybe EverQuest way back in the day, but there was really nothing else. But like it was interesting. They live in Canada. Like they're not even close to me. And we were playing together, and we were playing 3-4 times a week. Hopping on like, oh hey, it was pretty interesting. And that's probably the only game that I've had that experience. But I never played Journey though. But I'm interested now.
See, that's the same thing for me too. Is that same relationship he's speaking about is the only one that I've pretty much developed within a game, like that. I'm now involved in their like in a relationship with them, kind of outside of the game. Or Facebook friends, or we jumped on Skype, or it's through Destiny too as well. So, I started off with the EverQuest stuff, and I, built relationships there and stuff. Never met anybody in person. Never built anything outside of the game itself. It always stayed within the game. Then World of Warcraft was obviously a big one for me, where there's a huge community and stuff, and then that's where the Maelstrom Gamers, essentially, where we all started to build really deep relationships. At least I got to build those deep relationships with everybody through World of Warcraft, which did, obviously it helped out the in-person relationship, although we were around each other all the time anyways. But Destiny was the first time that I had, built a relationship with somebody completely game-related, and then built one outside of it. Not that was the most spectacular game. It did have some, differences there. Whereas, we're playing like it felt a little different. Console, first-person shooter, role-playing, MMO. It was like, all right, cool. This is a little sweet. Let's check this out. And it did have a small little community, but like you're saying, no talking, unless the cool little feature of PlayStation 4 is you make the party together, which is now you got like a Skype, a voice call. And that was cool because they allowed raids within Destiny, which made it so that most players were kind of forced to have to communicate with one another to be able to be successful, which is kind of where it led to those relationships even developing in the first place.
Interesting. So Journey and Two Brothers, both of them I would classify as game, even more than games. They're almost like an art form because of the simplicity of not simplicity, but the type of mechanics that you play with them, and then the visual style of both of them. What games would you guys say to you would be considered like an art form?
Where they do what games tend to like really do best is to invoke an emotion out of you, whether it's a power fantasy or like, you know what I mean, like
Well, the one game that comes to mind with me that I think about, like that actually got me like wanting to play it. It's like the very end. Like I haven't been on a game like that since was like The Last of Us. You guys ever played that game?
No, I have not finished it yet.
Oh gosh, I can't tell you about that. But like it was so good that people are actually making a movie out of it. But it just the relationship you went with the characters, they all had this backstory. Just the detail they went in with it. Just like you actually felt for the characters. Like I remember at one point I was just like, oh my god, did that really happen?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, can I change that anyway? Like, can I go back and change it? The sound was amazing. The story was even better, and they can make a sequel onto it. I don't want to go into more detail.
No, I understand. That's another game I've heard from other people that's like say it's like almost like an art form. The way how in depth it's taking you into the game, man. And I need to finish that game. Fuck.
Yes, it's amazing. That game and like another game that I like that you can actually, the decisions you make just like determine the outcome of the game. It's never the same game twice. Is The Walking Dead? They're just basically it's not really like a game. It's like it's almost like a story type game.
I played a little bit of it. Like I know it's kind of more like you click, a few buttons, or maybe you control like the aiming for like a split second. But mostly it's like a storyboard playing out, like a comic in action form, kind of, right?
Right, and and even down the road, like it'll be like, oh yeah, I remember the character. Remember I remember what you said back then. Screw you, you like that. You know what I mean? But as far as like a game that I connected with somebody that would be probably World of Warcraft. Like I have a friend that I still have over in Arizona. His name's Froggy. Well, that's what I call him, but his name's Frankie in real life. After 5 years, he decided to come over, and he just
5 years. Over. I like how he says it so lightly.
Yeah, 5 years.
Like the commitment of our lives that we dedicated to World of Warcraft. It's so sad.
Well, after 5 years, I was just like, yeah, come down, we'll hang out. I'll show you Florida, blah blah blah. And like people like on his side were like, you're gonna go beat somebody off you met off the internet? Like,
right.
Weird. And like when he came back, they're like, how was it? Like he was like, it was just like talking to him on the game. It was just like
exactly.
So like people don't understand that.
It's probably not going to be awkward if you like talk to them for 5 years already. It's like you guys are friends. So who cares if you aren't in the same room? Yeah, you're still basically everything has been like talked about.
It was like the same thing as if we were like. Like we're talking right now, you know what I mean?
I guess unless you had like a giant mole, like right eyelid or something.
You couldn't stop, like, moly.
Hey, Froggy. I didn't know you had that.
What is that? You asked about art form. I think you said Bloodborne. Those games, man, the detail and how they like think of these characters and everything. I think that was crazy art. On that, and I enjoy those games a lot. And they're extremely difficult, so I think their play style alone is art. Where you have to take on one enemy at a time.
It's kind of like taking a standardized test, actually.
Yes.
Like you train just to beat that one thing.
Yes.
Like just to continue on. Yeah.
I've never played it.
It's a difficult game, and it's very good, but if you die, you have to go back to your spot, okay, where you died, and get.
It's like playing like Metroid or like Castlevania when you were a kid, where it's like you basically try to clear the stage, but if you get a certain way and you die, you start from the very beginning of that stage again. Like you never get a saving checkpoint other than like killing a boss.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of like my other favorite game, Halo. Like, I love that.
even less checkpoints than in Halo, though.
Yeah. So one game for me too that's creative and stuff. It's a completely different side than looking at it as like I don't know the flowy art forms or whatnot. But Little Big Planet I like. Little Big Planet.
I can see that.
I picked it up for my son and stuff, and I really I went deep into the creation side of it, which is awesome, like insane.
Well, that literally is like art, you're like
it's art. It's like I've created so many different levels for him that was like incorporating learning at the same time. There was like, this is cool as hell. The fact that they give you that complete capability of using their everything that they've used within their game system to create your own
level editor.
Your own level. Whatever it is they call it. You know it better than I would. But.
Did you guys ever play the game when you were maybe in lower school or middle school, The Incredible Machine? Have you guys ever heard of that? No. So basically, it was a game. It's basically like Little Big Planet, but like for Windows 95 or like DOS or something. I don't
apologize. Even know. I had lagged. What was the game?
The Incredible Machine, and you basically create a Rube Goldberg machine. And that does like something really stupid, but you have like it go through all these different steps of a contraption just for it to drop like a ball on top of a glass or something like that, or like get a bowling ball inside of a bucket, something like that. But it was a really cool game because it required a lot of problem solving and imagination to come up with it, because I'm sure any single person could come up with a totally different way based on like the parts they give you to solve each stage, or so to speak. And it's a lot like Little Big Planet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that was one that I liked. It was kind of like the engineer side, because it's like they say, okay, now you can you got this object here, the shape, but now you can throw like physics mechanics to it if you want to. You can put a little bolt into it, and now it can rotate if you grab it, or it can always be moving like on a motor. It's like the capabilities there are like unlimited. So I like that.
I imagine games like Minecraft would be something that someone could probably had a really good social experience. Or just like this crazy, like,
probably.
I built this, right? Like, yeah, the games that I think that I believe that you're kind of getting at, Alan, are those that are just so like saturated with a specific type of experience that you just feel overwhelmed by it. So whether it's journey and the communication, like, and just feeling that like that you had a very unique adventure with someone else that you were able to share, and you're just like, wow, that was amazing, right? And then with Minecraft, it's or the social aspects of the other games we were talking about. I think actually back to Metal Gear Solid 3, where you built this relationship with a very specific character, and there was all this other like story narrative stuff that was like building up to this very specific moment. And I don't want to give spoilers away if you guys haven't played it, but it's at the end of the game, and you have to use an inherent mechanic in the game to do something that you absolutely do not want to do. You don't want to do it, but the story calls for it.
Kill somebody.
Yeah, pretty much.
I knew that was coming.
And it's nuts because the game won't progress until you actually physically do it, and it just it makes that moment just much more impactful. And so this feeling of basically the game is boiled down to like the espionage stuff, and so the experience that you're overwhelmed with is just distrust and like anger and sadness, right? And that's exactly what the character's feeling, and so you're just left with it, with all those emotions just swirling around you, and you're just like, man,
and if a game can do that to you, man, that's a freaking good game.
Yeah,
right.
I think that it gets you afterwards. You're like, that's The Last of Us did that to me.
I see. Oh yeah. I feel like I had that somewhat recently in a video game, but I can't remember what game it was. Maybe it was a PC game.
Well, and I mean, really not building a relationship, of someone that I didn't know before, but like with Rocco and I, when we started playing EverQuest, like I thought that was crazy, like how we would explore, and him and I would be talking about it all the time, and it was great, and we'd sit there and go over these experiences and trying to do things together. That was definitely a game that was huge for me.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. So
it was like you were the pioneers of a new frontier. You
exactly.
know?
Oh yeah.
Totally. It was like what offered like a true escape.
Yeah. Instant messenger was just coming out, and it was like, okay, so you can communicate via text kind of thing, but now it's like you're via text / through this video game 3D character.
I thought,
that it brought a whole new feel to it, because now we can go roam together and do different like adventures together, where it's like I don't know, it opened the whole new door.
And I think a big part of it was the lack of information about games that was available back then too. Like you actually felt like you were learning something and like exploring and unsure of where you were going, like what tomorrow, what happened tomorrow with your.
I was just about to say the brownies.
You wander somewhere and all of a sudden you're dead.
Here.
You're traveling through a zone and it comes nighttime, and all of a sudden like everything becomes like 20 times harder to kill, and you're just like, wait, what? Like you don't know about that. But then but nowadays, you just go to whatever xgamehead.com, and it's like got all the information you need about the game, like where to find the specific item, like how to get here, how to kill this boss, like how to do it solo. That didn't really exist much until the later stages of EverQuest.
It's got a very tribal feel to it. You have to like share this knowledge with other people.
You really had to rely on everybody and like what sort of information, like and if you spent like a long time on a quest or something, like chances are you could fuck it up along one point of the stage and never be able to do it again, and like that was kind of it. Like you're done. Like you couldn't finish it.
They like made them difficult, and they also they, like you were saying, there wasn't just websites all over the place. That I think that led to more. I mean, to different, like connections with the game. The harder the game is, it seems like people enjoy it more. The more challenging it is, because like if because it makes it like gratifying when you beat it or you do something awesome within it.
Which is why so many people like the Bloodborne or Dark Souls games now, is because they feel like accomplished when they actually, kill.
It's more of a challenge than just. You know, can hit A and B. Here you go, and I got through the entire game.
But then, then there's also great when you have like a true experience in such a short time, like a game like Journey or Two Brothers, where you can finish it in 2 hours, but still be like, you know, like feel like you spent like a great amount of time in it, and you know, it was worth the investment, even though it was a short investment.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna use like it reminds me of a metaphor that Ego Raptor had used when he dissected Mega Man and Mega Man X. Like those games, like Two Brothers and Journey, feel like gourmet 5-star restaurant dessert that you eat very slowly, as opposed to a lot of games that are just like bags of chips.
Yeah,
like this is just so saturated with richness, and every moment is so good. So distilled.
That was the greatest rendition I've ever heard of a video game like that.
Yeah,
I can't take full credit.
That was the best.
That's Ego Raptor kind of came out with that. It's awesome.
And all I was gonna say is going back to the EverQuest thing. I moved when I was in high school. I moved to Vegas, and that's how I pretty much, instead of calling up Rocco, we could sit there and talk on the game and hang out together. I had him and my brother. You know, they were on the other side of the the United States, and I'd get to hang out and talk with them. You know, and I could communicate with them that way, and instead of just sitting on the phone, hey, what's going on? We're actually doing something, having fun. So
and interact, right? Like you said, and play. Yeah, It wasn't just talking.
Right.
Games are amazing, and I do. Who was it that said? What film critic Allan said that they were not art? Ebert or something like that.
Oh, maybe he might have. Yeah.
Yeah, like screw that guy, man.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead now, so we can't really talk bad about him.
Yeah, we can.
Well, yeah, we can.
Yeah, it's kind of distasteful, but fuck that guy. No.
I don't know if it was even him. It might not have been.
Yeah, it might have not.
He's like,
oh no, it's not him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Everything and Nothing Show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We'll be here next week. Like we said, you can follow if you like this. You can follow us on Twitter at MaelstromGamers. You can head over to Facebook and you can like us. Please comment and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you'd like to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/MaelstromGamers. You can give us $1. You can give us $5, $4, $10, whatever you like. It helps us keep doing what we really love doing, which is entertaining you guys and putting the money back into this to get better mics, better stuff, do more stuff. And so it really just helps support us. And like we said, each one of these topics is going to be doled out Monday through Friday on YouTube. And the full episode with each topic will be on Saturday. And like I was just saying on Patreon, if you want to get it early, that's where you can go over there and we'll reward you for supporting us. So yeah.
And comment below.
Shout outs, love you, and guys, stick. Just have yourself a good week and enjoy yourself.
Subscribe.
Yeah, it's been an honor to entertain you guys. In the meantime, while you're waiting, keep thinking about everything and nothing. Peace and take care.
Peace.
See ya.